name is Rachel Speakman, and this is my positionality video. So, first, I'm sorry about the lighting. I don't know why it's like this. I'm really sorry. Um, First is my race. I am a white person. I have inherited the privilege that comes with being white, meaning that historically, Americans that were white have oppressed people of color, and they built a system off that oppression and have been given power to themselves since then. And because our system is basically the same, I have inherited that power. Um, Class. Okay, so my class is a really interesting thing. Um, so growing up, I was lower class to begin with. My mother, this is her, and me. We're like twins. She was a single mom, and we were considered lower class. She waited tables while she was going to beauty school, and then she dropped out of beauty school because she couldn't really do both because beauty school is expensive too. And then a couple years later, my mom married my stepdad, and me. And a couple years after that, they had my brother. That's me, my brother. And my mom and I moved to middle class with a second income in the house. Well, technically third. My mom was working too, and then my dad worked. And then my parents continued to work, both work. Sorry, I have a hair in my mouth. Until my dad got sick when I was in 5th or 6th grade, and he was bedbound and could not work. And so we went back to being lower class, and my mom was the only one working, and she was also like a nurse at home. She's done a lot for us. As soon as I was able to work, I was expected to work, and I did. And I was the second income for my household. I was working 2 20-hour-a-week jobs when I was a teenager. Kind of a lot. It happens, you know. But I actually was emancipated at age 16, so at that time I was considered middle class as someone that was working 40 to 60 hours a week. And I also helped provide for my family and my brother. And now that I'm married, I am considered on the higher end of middle class, almost upper class. My husband and I both work 2 jobs and work about 60 hours a week each, so we're working. I also think my class growing up, we relied on state assistance for a lot of things, and I felt a lot of shame with that. Because I felt like people thought we weren't working hard, but we were working really hard, just to try and make ends meet. Like I was supposed to go to school on scholarship, and I had to work really hard to make sure I could do that. Just to be able to buy equipment for volleyball, I had to work 2 jobs because I had to pay my own rent as a teenager, plus make sure my parents were taken care of. And I still struggle with that. But I've opened myself up more to it because I realize if I don't talk about it, it's just as bad as not saying anything at all when I see it happening in other places that I'm creating this cycle, and I'm enforcing it by not doing anything about it. Next is my sexual orientation. I am bisexual. I don't talk about that for a few reasons that aren't okay reasons, but they're the reasons I have. I grew up in a Christian household, very heavy-handed Christian household. My dad was in the Marine Corps, and now he's a pastor. And I've struggled with that. I haven't told my family. The only people that know are my husband and a friend that I have that passed away a couple years ago. It's not something I make public because I know that people assume that I'm straight, and because I married a man, people just think, oh, well, you're not really bi or whatever, or because, like, not something also I don't talk about is that I'm pregnant. We haven't announced it yet, but I am pregnant, and the more knowing that, the more I'm looking at myself and saying that it's something that I have to talk about more, and I'm working towards it. Just identifying it within myself was a big step. Yeah, and in society, I feel like we're becoming more open to non-straight people, but we still got a long ways to go. Next is ability status. My ability status is interesting also. So I was born fully able-bodied. Last year, I was in a work-related accident, and I have a traumatic brain injury, and with that I have issues with my vision. which at times can leave me legally blind. But it's hit or miss, good and bad days, right? Next is my gender. I am cisgender. I identify with the gender that I was born into. And then two of my choice, religion, I would consider myself Christian based. I don't really believe in the Christian church for personal reasons. But I do see that my morals are based in the Christian faith. The other one is I am a citizen, an American citizen. I am technically first generation on my mom's side. My grandma was born in Italy, raised in Italy. My mom was born in Italy, but was raised in America. Um, all of these things have really contributed to who I am as a person. And I think something that I've realized is that it's really hurtful when people assume things about you, because it's like all the things that you went through don't matter, or all the things you're struggling with or have struggled with don't matter to the world. And um, that's something I'll take into my classroom, is to never assume that a child is lower class or upper class, or that they are straight or gay, or anything. And just, if kids want to share it with you, then they share it and you accept it, and if they don't, you accept that too, and you just accept them as human beings. And that's something I'll bring into my classroom. Um, yeah. And so the positionality statement that I have, I feel is always changing. Right now, in this video, I would say that I am a white, bisexual, cisgender woman, um, born in America, pursuing a degree in education. Oh, and I've also experienced multiple socioeconomic statuses. I have really enjoyed this class this semester. I think it's been a great thing for all of us, and at first it was really uncomfortable, but I'm really glad we had it, because it's really opened my eyes and made me more sensitive to the world and to other people. So thank you. I hope you have a great winter break, and I hope to hear from you soon. Bye.